Little Miss Giggles breaks my heart. I absolutely adore this. This is book number 7 in the Little Miss series. It was published in, I believe, 1981. Yes, 1981 originally. And Little Miss Giggles ordinarily is a very happy, giggly character. And we get to meet her and realize that that's what her life is usually like. She's usually very happy and giggling all the time. But then one day, little teardrop is just so depressing. One day, she tries to giggle and realizes that she can't. And Mr. Happy, the perfect character for this, tries to help out and find ways to make her giggle, and she just can't, and she cannot find any happiness. She's lost that giggle, she's lost that thing that makes her unique, and they don't know why. And it's basically a sign of depression. I know that's not, it doesn't say that, of course, but there are children who will just all of a sudden, and adults of course, just who don't feel like themselves, who are no longer able to laugh or smile in the way they used to be, despite the best efforts of their friends. And definitely that's what we see with Little Miss Giggles. Something has triggered her low mood, her inability to laugh and chuckle and giggle, and Mr. Happy does everything he can to try and cheer her up. And I think it's a really important dialogue to have with children, that sometimes you will feel down and sometimes there might not be any obvious reason for it, but there will be people there who can help you to find that giggle, to find that essence that makes you unique and help you regain who you used to be when you were happy. And I will reveal, of course, how Mr. Happy does it because I think it's brilliant. Mr. Happy decides to give her a box. And on that box it says, "One giggle, medium size, this side up, handle with care." He has given her a box of giggles. And Little Miss Giggles is confused because there's nothing in the box. And Mr. Happy says, well, if they're invisible, you just can't see them. And Little Miss Giggles points out, that's absolutely ridiculous. And she giggled. And it's because of the constant efforts of her friend Mr. Happy that she was finally able to regain that giggle. She just needed time and to work through things because she didn't know why she'd lost her giggle. And she just needed that spark back, and eventually she got it. Obviously, you can argue that I'm thinking too deeply into it, that it represents depression, and that sometimes a low mood can happen because of a chemical imbalance rather than any environmental factor, and sometimes you just need something to almost flip that switch. That's what it's like sometimes, and it's ridiculous and it's annoying. But Mr. Happy was that switch, or I guess the person who flicked the switch. I really enjoyed this one a lot. I thought it was very moving, very heartfelt, very effectively told, very well illustrated, of course. Little Miss Giggles is an absolute delight. And the character isn't one of my favorites. The design of her isn't one of my favorite designs. But the story itself, I absolutely adore.